Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
This guy is apparently the Moon Carlson Bitcoiner, and he's a child. I mean, these are children that have not, that don't, they're children that are looking at things through an ideology instead of using their brains. They're looking at things emotionally instead of using their brains and doing the research, which I've done 4+ years of 2 to 3 videos a day talking about this one thing. You can't capture an adult's attention with one thing and one company and one digital asset like that unless they, someone who's older that's been around for a while, especially in finance. You can't capture someone's attention like that with just one thing unless there's not just a bunch of thunder and no rain, but a freaking blizzard storm out there. There's an obvious, it's always been obvious to me what we're dealing with here. And it's always baffled me why so many of the Wall Street players are just constantly beating this Bitcoin drum when they know what it is and they know what it's not, and they're just, a lot of them just aren't being honest about what Bitcoin is and what it is not. So when I saw this video, this is the video where he's like, oh, Bitcoin's gonna go to 10 million. I don't know what, Bitcoin's gonna go a lot higher, I think, but only because it's got a marketing machine, a Wall Street marketing machine behind it. Aside from that, and this is what a lot of people don't think about, once Bitcoin becomes an altcoin, there's no reason to own it anymore, because once it doesn't have the top spot, there are hundreds, thousands of digital assets that have better tech behind them, also have the limited amount like Bitcoin does, and many of them have proof of work. If proof of work is what you think is the holy grail, and they could replace it in a second. So, and that's the great fear of people like this. That's the reason they come after XRP all the time, because they know XRP is the one that stands to take that top spot. Alright, so this Mr. Ware had said, crypto YouTuber the Moon Call says Bitcoin is going to 10 million and XRP is going to 0. This pimply nerd just gave us the biggest dump BTC and buy XRP signal ever. Well, to me, it's painful. Oh, it hurts to just listen to someone that's this ignorant of what's going on. And to contrast it, I saw something today, and when I was watching it, I was like, okay, there's no better contrast than I played the video of this clown this morning telling you with all his logic that XRP is going to go to 0 and Bitcoin's going to go to 10 million. I played you that video. So now I'm going to play you the contrast. I've said for a long time, we are the adults in the room. We're the ones that are looking at this and saying, wait a minute. Look at what Ripple's doing. Look at who they're meeting with. Look at where Brad Garlinghouse has been, what stage he's been on with who for the last 3-4 years. Okay? This guy, meanwhile, has been looking at a Bitcoin chart and saying, well, this is going to go up. I think we're hitting a whatever and this and that. That doesn't mean anything. What I'm talking about is politics. I'm talking about big business. I'm talking about connections and contacts and people on your board and freaking things that have never been seen in the history of finance is what I'm talking about. This Mickey Mouse stuff, well, anyway, I don't have to say anymore. I'm now going to I'm going to show you the adults in the room, because there was an adult conversation that went on today at Link2's conference. Now, against the backdrop of that guy holding up his hand and saying zero and Bitcoin's going to go to 10 million, I want you to now listen to the adults in the room. Here we go. This is Nick Burafedo of Link2, and Brad Combs also chimes in.
Let's not forget, Ripple picked the toughest use case in the digital asset space over anyone, and that's why it's taken the longest. And in years to come, the people who don't see it today, or who didn't believe it today, will look back and say, oh, that makes sense, because they didn't take the time to do their own research and understand what Ripple is actually doing. And it'll be clear, there's a lot of things that have happened over the years that we've looked back and say, wow, that made sense, but it didn't make sense at the time. And XRP is going to make a lot of sense to people, and it's not going to take long.
Yeah. Can I throw something in? I know we got to end it, but I just want to throw this in too, because I just think it's so pertinent. We look at the proofs in the partnerships. We also look at the people behind the company. Look at the board of Ripple and understand how many people from the U.S. Treasury are there. That's not a mistake. Then also look at the note, the note conversation. We always talk about the Howey test with the SEC case. But when something is a note, is always said at the tail end of what Gary Gensler or Hester Peirce talk about the SEC case. They talk about the Howey test, and then they talk about the Reeves test. When something is a note is like Federal Reserve dollar bill note, right? That's what they're talking about. Just what exactly holding up. Right?
This $5 bill has a Ripple board member's name on it. It says Rosie Rios.
Exactly.
That isn't an accident. If you're here and you don't believe in XRP and what Ripple's doing, why is Rosie Rios' name on your money? And why is she on the board of XRP? Why is she on the board of Ripple, who's looking to use XRP to move money around the world cheaper and faster than anybody's ever done? And guys, all you have to do is reach in your pocket, grab your money, and pay attention. These are not tough clues to find. They're right there. Well, and to Brad's point, Nick, look at the top side of that $5 bill. What does it say? It's a Federal Reserve note.
That's right.
That's correct. But XRP is going to zero and Bitcoin's going to go forever. Shameful, okay? And he gets an excuse because he's a kid. Some of these people, some of these higher up Wall Street types, they don't deserve that same free pass. It's shameful because it's a lie. It's been a lie from... anyway. All right. I told you the other day I had a lot of people have been asking me about Masterworks. These guys they're sponsoring a couple of segments this month, and I wanted to show you another video. This guy's sharp. The CEO. This is the CEO, Scott Lynn of Masterworks. He's got so many cool clips that are around. I wanted to show you another one. Listen to what they're doing.
So if you take a step back and just look at the size of the ARM market overall and how it's performed over the past 25 years, contemporary art has appreciated at 14% a year, which basically is beating most other asset classes. The problem has been the only way to allocate to it is if you have millions of dollars to buy a painting. So Masterworks was the first company to go out, purchase a painting, securitize it with the SEC as a public offering, and then sell shares in that painting. So that's the very simple process that we use to take these great works of art and make them into investment vehicles.
We chatted last September, I want to say, around kind of this concept and what you've seen in terms of the growth.
Okay, I just want to show you that clip, and now look at this. I was on their website today. This is masterworks.io. And by the way, I have in the link in the description of this video where you can look, and it'll take you to Masterworks. You can literally go and apply. I think you have to, let me see what it says up here. They've got a thing on here, I think. Let me hit the refresh and make sure it's still there. They've got a thing on here where you can skip the wait list. You click that and enter your information, and then you can open an account up, and you got to fill out some information and whatnot. But anyway, look at this. Annualized appreciation. This is why I'm interested in it. This is why I invested in some of this this week. Is contemporary art. I've never been able to be exposed to this asset class. But what it does is it helps you diversify. I've got some gold. I own a house. I mean, I've got some equities right now. And then, but you can see that when I was a financial advisor, I'm not now, but when I was, they used to teach us that to diversification and talking about diversification, and that's what it is. But this asset class, art, I don't know if it's an asset class itself, but it's a category anyway. But look how it's appreciated compared to the others. It's never bad to, especially if you're older, it's never bad to be exposed to things so that you're balanced in your approach. So anyway, but that, I don't know your situation. That's between you and your financial advisor, because I'm not one. So anyway, go check it out. Now, Stefan Huber had put this up. This clown show going on with having to do with Ethereum is really unbelievable. So as you know, Kavina Gupta is now suing Consensus, okay? Look at this. The weekly Friday happy hours held upstairs at Consensus Brooklyn office were also fraught for Gupta, who does not use illicit drugs. The open use of cocaine, psychedelics, pills of unknown origin, and marijuana when its use was illegal in New York, all of which were offered to Gupta, caused her to feel ill at ease at the office. Joe Lubin, who openly discusses his fondness for LSD, set the tone for his behavior. And then it goes on to talk about how they were improperly, not without appropriate tax reporting and withholding. How long till the IRS jumps on that one? Okay, and then Ripple had put this out. It's no wonder we're in this position. The entire existence of crypto has revolved around the Ethereum gang in some fashion from the early days, but this lawsuit is eye-opening AF. It shows us the reality of the people who tried to create the reality. Exactly. What a freaking mess. And everybody, we all know who's to blame here, folks. They've said it in their own arrogant words. Now, John Deaton makes an excellent point here. Have you noticed how Gary Gensler, Allison Heron Lee, Hester Pierce, and other SEC leaders and staffers never give a personal opinion on whether a specific token is a security? Then why was Bill Hinman so eager and willing to gratuitously give a public speech declaring Ethereum not one? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? That's because he wouldn't do it. Ripple ODL platforms received 40 million XRP in merely an hour from a non-wallet. Let's see what it says here. Well Alert detected 2 large XRP transactions carrying 20 million coins each, made approximately 10 hours ago. Both were made from the same address by the crypto tracker is unknown. The transfers were made to Bitso and Bitstamp. I guess those are the ODL corridors. Alright, interesting stuff. Gary Gensler's November calendar is up, and I went through the whole thing. The most interesting thing is this. On November 2nd, he met with Brian Armstrong of Coinbase, and it looks like several officers from Coinbase. Previously, Gary Gensler did not want to talk to them. And speaking of not wanting to talk, Tom Emmer had tweeted a while back that he was still waiting on a response from Gary Gensler from his November 3rd letter asking him to make sense of why Bitcoin futures ETFs are allowed to trade but not spot ETFs. He said he was still waiting on January 3rd, and now he's still waiting on February 3rd, a month later. This is your SEC chairman of the United States of America, folks. You couldn't even run my business if you're this irresponsible. Now, Blockchain Association, this is a clip that I found because I keep asking, why is the Blockchain Association, who's supposed to support the entire crypto industry, why are they not outwardly supporting Ripple and John Deaton and what he's doing, suing the SEC on behalf of all of these crypto holders, XRP holders? Well, I went back, I remembered Stuart Alderati used to be on their board of directors. And so I'm asking the question, you'll see he is no longer showing up on their board of directors. He used to show up. Now, he's not showing up. So does anyone know Stuart Alderati is still on the board? They won't even speak to John Deaton and won't really address the issues around the Ripple case, especially the Ethereum free pass with a 10-foot pole. And TAIG says looks like Ripple's still a member, but he's checking on Alderati, so we shall see. iTrust Capital has announced the REN. They've added the REN. Is it a REN token? I know nothing about the REN token. I just try to make you aware when they do add a new thing. That's itrustcapital.com. James Phelan. Court denies Ripple's request to seal legal memos provided to Chris Larson and briefing associated with those memos, and grants Ripple's request to file reply to the SEC's motion to strike the fair notice defense. Now, John Deaton's law firm had kind of summarized this. Brad Garnell's to seal some exhibits to previous motions. Torres will unseal an email to Larson and legal memos to Ripple finding arguments to seal unjustified but granted redactions to Garlinghouse to protect potentially sensitive information in 3 documents. She also ordered public release of documents by both sides under seal, anticipating motions to seal from other side that never came. Lastly, Torres will allow Ripple a surreply, I don't know if I'm saying that right, surreply to the SEC Gov's memorandum of law in support of motion to strike fair notice defense. Gary Gensler was on Bloomberg today, and unfortunately for you, he's going to say the same old BS that he always
You're a
says.
platform and you have 75 or 100 or sometimes 5,000 tokens on that platform. Probabilities are that a number of them, and maybe many of them, are what's called a security. And it's Congress painted with a broad brush. And it comes down to this: are you raising money from the public, and the public's anticipating profits based on the efforts of others? My predecessor, Chair Clayton, the agency that I'm honored to chair at this point in time, is going to try to pursue investor protection, and if that means bringing greater enforcement actions, we'll do that. But it would be better to have these platforms come in, work with us, and come under the securities laws.
Gary does not look healthy. He might need to come get out of that house. Now today, Charles Gasparino tweeted this out. This is interesting. Breaking: the Justice Department is investigating into alleged abuses of short sellers is focused on as many as 60 firms with particular focus on activist short sellers. Sources tell Fox Business Story Developing. Now, I don't know if this has to do with crypto or the stock market, but for some crazy reason, this is the first clip that popped in my mind when I saw, not for any reason other than it was a short seller that I remember.
I mean, it was interesting. CNBC, not to pick on CNBC, but I think against them here, they literally had a show where they were one by one walking people through how to buy the Ripple, the XRP coin. Literally, when it was trading at $3.20, having moved from 20 cents 8 weeks earlier. From the day of that show, the thing plummeted. We were short. It plummeted all the way back to 50 cents.
That was peak nonsense?
Peak nonsense.
I would love to know where they were shorting it and who was shorting it with them.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.